ChatGPT's new image generation is a complete game changer, but what most people have missed is the ability of using this with multi-modality. And in this video, I'm going to show you some of the incredible use cases of asking ChatGPT to extract information from images. It's able to provide incredible insights into posture, body language, expression, group dynamics, and best of all is that all of the use cases I demonstrate to you in this video today can be turned into a business model. So let's take a step back and talk about what exactly is multimodality. Well, multimodality is the ability to process and generate multiple types of data: text, images, code, and more. So this allows us to use cross-data prompting. For example, you can ask it to make a meme about your CV, or turn a simple sketch into a usable coded landing page. But most of all, and what I'm particularly excited, and what we're going to delve deeply into in this video, is the new intelligence, the visual reasoning and visual feedback capabilities, because the AI is now able to interpret and offer opinions unbiased on different visual matter. So let me show you a very quick example of the power of this. Now, what we can do is we can send ChatGPT an image and ask it to say how does it interpret this image of myself. Now it reflects deeply on presentation, expression, posture, and other clues from the image. And the information that it's able to distill just from this is absolutely remarkable. But this is just a taste of the things that we're going to get into today. One of the incredible use cases available with ChatGPT multimodality is asking for an opinion on what hairstyle will suit you and then seeing it mocked up. So what you can do is pop the prompt in along with an image of yourself, and ChatGPT will not only give you the thinking behind what haircut suits you, but it will also mock up a few options. Now, for every prompt that I use in this video, I'm giving them to you completely for free, and they're available in the description below. So you can go off and download these all for free and have some fun with the multimodality in GPT yourself. If you are new here, I'm AI Samson, and on this channel our mission is to adapt, thrive, and create in the AI revolution. I'm on a path to 200k subscribers, and if you were to click subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. So it told me that I have a slightly oblong face with balanced features and a strong jawline. I'll suggest and create previews of 3 haircut styles. Now it suggested a modern undercut, which is something I had quite recently, but it also gave me a textured medium shag. Looking a bit shaggy. But you can do this to anyone. And here is the outputs for Leonardo DiCaprio. I certainly think a shorter look might suit him quite well. You can even do it with your own AI-generated characters. So another demonstration based on visual aesthetic is helping you make fashion choices. So I was recently trying to purchase a new shirt and I was completely confused as to which color to buy. So I took a photo of me wearing each of the shirts in 3 different colors, and I asked ChatGPT for its opinion on which shirt I should buy. Now do let me know in the comments if you think that the blue shirt, which is what ChatGPT suggested, was the best choice. Now after that, I also asked it which of the fittings was most appropriate. So one of these was a medium and one of these was a large. So this was a large and this was a medium. And it again gave me some useful insight. It said the medium shirt fits you best. It looks more structured and proportionate. Now, if you're a man like me who sometimes struggles with fashion choices, then ChatGPT can be your go-to collaborator for getting that perfect look. But we can use this in a slightly different way. We can also ask ChatGPT to give us a little bit of a makeover. If we're looking to purchase some new clothes, we can ask it to take a photo and say, take this photo of me, but give me a style makeover. I want a new outfit that is fitting with not only my personality, style, and stage of life, but also with my ambition to be elegant, modern, casual, stylish, and attractive. Please make sure that the image looks like me. And this is the design it's given me. It certainly makes me look more professional. Now, another step we can take here is that we can ask, please go and find links to suitable items of clothing on the interweb that I could buy to create this outfit. And when you look at that, it's possible then to go to these links and see very similar items of clothing. So this is a great process for doing some personalized shopping. Please try this with a different scenario. Can you do this for a Burning Man outfit, making me look bohemian, mystical, and steampunk? Now, one thing I love about using ChatGPT is you can always go back and collaborate further with it. So I can say, this is too boring for me. I need it to be more quirky, more extravagant, more eccentric, and make it look more like me. Okay, now this is certainly a step forward in some direction, but now next up is the idea of creating visual humor, and this can be an incredibly profound marketing and content creation approach. You may have seen some of these AI-generated memes recently. Well, we can use a very interesting prompt that allows us to take any piece of content, any situation, and to create a visual meme out of it. Now, I've been creating some memes related to my latest course, which is about using AI to design. And what I did is I asked it to, based on my sales page, can we make a list of 10 meme ideas to get the point across? Then it came up with a list of 10 different concepts based on the problem of having lots of good ideas but never having enough time to execute with the design. So then I said, cool, make this one in graphic style. And this is the AI designer's evolution. I want 3 panels, caveman with a paintbrush, designer with Photoshop, and a creator with AI tools. Make the third really fun and cool. Make the middle a bit outdated. Keep my nose ring, my hair color, my t-shirt color, and make it look like me. And then I uploaded an image of me. And then it came out with this, which was pretty fantastic. It shows the evolution, the idea of how the process of designing with AI is changing, and it keeps this fun illustrated style with a caricature of myself. Now, what's great about this is that we can converse, we can naturally collaborate in language that is conversational with AI to develop our memes. So I went ahead and said, cool, we need to make it clearer. Move the title to the bottom, have a label at the top of each. Caveman, designer, AI master. Have the caveman painting a logo. Have me holding a hovering ball with a ChatGPT logo. And then it added these changes immediately. We went from this to this, which certainly for me made it clearer. Then I decided to make a few more final adjustments, and it was able to do everything that I asked for. But I made a few others as well, just for a little bit of fun. Like this one, learns every AI tool, takes over the world, hiya! And as you can see, like the whole idea here is that not only is it matching the tone that I want to have with my content, but also it's creating this caricature of me, like keeping the same t-shirt, the same background, and a small likeness to my own visual aesthetic. But what's very cool is that we can take any page, any website page, and what we can do is we can paste it into ChatGPT and we say, make a meme out of this web page. So this is great for making humorous and reflective parodies and comical content about any situation immediately. Now we can also do it about other people. So I could take an image from my Instagram feeds and I could say, make a meme about my own Instagram feed. So we're making a meme about how drones could deliver medical supplies under UK regulation changes. Now here is the meme we got out for the medical devices. Now, one thing I want to emphasize here is it's very rare that you do a simple prompt and you get a perfect output first time. The key here is to iterate, collaborate, and take an idea and move it forward with ChatGPT. So this is what I start out with, but I will certainly now request changes. I will say something like, okay, make sure that it is landscape. Please simplify and correct the text. And I want to see something more humorous. I want the man to be older and it to still look like me. I think we could make it about like 2023, like a huge line waiting for a GP. 2024, a drone with a common logo from a food delivery service saying, your order is here. And what's truly exciting about this is how much fun you can have collaborating with ChatGPT on your creative projects. You are here being the creative director. You are taking the ideas and developing them in your own image. And it is really a lot of fun to go through this collaborative, iterative process, really refining and developing your ideas. And what we get here is using ChatGPT as such a wonderful reflector of information and discernment, because not only can we ask it to do things, we can also ask it to reflect on the things that we've been doing. If you've been putting off launching a website because it's too technical, too time-consuming, or overwhelming, this tool changes everything. I've partnered with HubSpot to bring you their free website generator. And it's an incredibly fast way to bring your site from idea to reality and get it out there on the interwebs. Now you're able to use just a few simple prompts about your business, and the AI helps build you a custom website without any coding in just a few minutes. No coding, no wireframing, no stress. Hashtag no stress. Now, there is a couple of things that I particularly like about it. It automates the hardest part of building a site, which is lovely. Stay out of the code. Stop digging amongst those weeds. Now, you can also drag and drop elements to bring it up to your personal taste. Now, best of all, it's fast, clean, and free. So there's no risk at all to give it a go. Now, if you're launching something new, starting a rebrand, or testing out a brand new idea, this is a ridiculously fast and easy way to get something live that actually looks good. Now, as this is built by HubSpot, it integrates perfectly with their entire platform, so your site can scale with your business. If you want to try it, the link is at the top of the description below. And a huge thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this segment of the video. So if you are feeling like you don't even want to come up with improvements, you can ask ChatGPT to improve it. So on this one, where we're working on a meme about my Instagram feed, I can go ahead and ask it, how could we improve this? What do you think would make it more humorous? This seems to be a little bit bland right now. Cool, and then it comes up with some wonderful, interesting ideas. You moved to Bali once and never came back. Now, some of these suggestions are kind of strange, where no one poops but everyone ponders. This can happen sometimes. I got this one meme out earlier that was so ridiculous that it blew my mind, to be honest. So there was this huge glitch in the GPT mainframe when I got this meme. I asked it for a meme and it said, me trying to find a wig maker who does consistent works. And I was just like, what in God's hell is this? And now our meme for the medical supply delivery is certainly improving. Now, you often do have to specify some exact text in this because often it does have spelling errors. But you can see the concept is here, and it's incredibly powerful for creating viral content quickly and easily on any subject. And that is a complete game changer and also incredibly fun. Now, you can also do this to impress your friends and family. And my brother recently bought a new van, and I said, well, let's give it a paint job. And I simply sent a photo of the van and asked for a paint job update. And this is a great way to make humorous images to enlighten the mood and experience of your friends and family. Why not surprise your friends and family with exciting AI-generated images? If you're looking to improve yourself with AI, there are some very interesting self-reflective prompts that you can use to get immediate feedback on different situations. So here I sent an image of myself and I asked it to analyze my posture. So this was the image I sent in, and it told me that the head slightly leaning to the side, which can read as passive or contemplative rather than assertive. There's a slight forward droop to my shoulders, signaling low energy or disengagement. Now, this is incredibly interesting because it then suggests to you interesting fixes or alternatives for what to do with your posture. Now, I believe that posture is an incredibly important part of how we communicate to others. It's a massive non-verbal communication signal in every single situation. Our body language is not just the way that we move our arms or our bodies, but really the way that we hold ourselves in every moment. As I say that, I'm remembering to sit up straight and look more confidently into the camera. So this is where things get particularly interesting, because we can then ask it to take this information and give us a visual piece of feedback on that. So then it's taken my pose and transformed the posture to show me what would be a more confident and assertive posture, and it certainly is an improvement. But if you're open to getting even more self-reflective, one of the most powerful and interesting insights available from ChatGPT is getting it to interpret the vibe, the aura of people in photos. So you can simply send it a photo of yourself and ask it to create a word cloud representing the general feel, vibe, and how you come across with this, with each word larger or smaller depending on how important it is or how much it conveys the tone. Now, this is incredibly interesting to see what are you communicating visually about yourself. So I sent it this photo, and it gave me a series of words: confident, friendly, genuine, youthful, blah, blah, blah. Now, next up I gave another photo, but if you're feeling a little bit spicy and willing to take the fire, then I asked it to also include words that are neutral or negative. And here we got creative, focused, relaxed, reserved, distant, calm. And this is pretty interesting, but if you are willing to receive even more detailed feedback, you can send it your dating profile and ask exactly how this comes across and what improvements can be made. And this is a remarkable feature that allows us to gain much deeper awareness and perception into how we are being showcased to other people. So I sent it a selection of photos and asked it about how I am coming across in these. And then it came up with some weak spots. It told me what I'm missing. It's saying all logic, no flirt, no hint at humor, romance, spontaneity, or emotional warmth. It's saying that they lean more to a portfolio than personal, too polished or too serious. And this was pretty interesting. So what is great about this is taking it to the next step. So, okay, now we've got some ideas about what's missing, but how do we actually implement that? So what I love about this multi-modality approach is we can ask ChatGPT to say, okay, this is what I'm missing, but it's hard for me to imagine what that would actually look like. Can you render out a photograph of a situation that I should try to imitate in another photo? And it came up with this photo of being in a relaxed social setting, drinking what looks like to be like a coffee, and looking relaxed and natural. And it gave me this wonderful prompt to embody for a potential photo shoot, saying, photograph me like I just made you laugh, like I don't care about the camera, like I'm already on a second date with someone who fascinates me. Now what's interesting is it certainly did not tell me to take a photograph with a fish. Now another way we can use this is to analyze the social dynamics in photos. The image capability is incredible at understanding the dynamics and relationships in a photo. So here I inputted this group photo from the Oscars of a bunch of celebrities, and it pulls out some interesting details about the closeness and the grouping, about the way that Jennifer Lawrence and Meryl Streep have this shared energy in this photo, about how Bradley Cooper is orchestrating the whole environment, and the way that Ellen DeGeneres is orchestrating the whole event. But you can do this with any situation, and I have put in images of myself with other people and asked it to describe the dynamic that is going across. There was one where I put an image of myself with a person and the same person with another person and asked ChatGPT to tell me about the differences in how these relationships appear. And this gave me some very insightful information about the social dynamics that were existing within my social grouping at the time. And it really told me that they were not feeling comfortable with the second person and they were feeling comfortable with me. And this was incredibly interesting to understand on a very deep level the body language and social cues that were being emitted. Now, I pay quite a lot of attention to this type of information. It's something that fascinates me, the way that we come across, how we can hold ourselves, how we can present ourselves in a way that isn't orchestrated, but is authentic and yet still conveys the message and the intention that we have. So you can also ask this for other situations. You can also get it to give you an aura perspective, a vibe tuning for any profile that you present. So you can try this out with your LinkedIn profiles, your Facebook profiles, your Instagram feed. Even I tried it with my YouTube thumbnails to see what is the response. Now for my Instagram profile, it cracked me up a lot because it said, you want to be seen as emotionally intelligent, but also hot. And I was like, oh my God, this is so shocking. And then, when I got it to roast me, it said, I'm a tech bro who discovered emotions. So it's a lot of fun to go and roast yourself with AI. Now, another interesting way to use this that I thought would be fun to show you about the just incredible creative potential of applying this technology is I took all of the profile photos of people who had applied for a copywriting position for me, and I asked ChatGPT, based just on these profile pictures of applicants to my copywriting position, select who you think is most appropriate for an interview. And it gives insight exactly onto how well people have invested into their profile photos and what that says about them. And not only that, but it also starts to interpret what are their attitudes, what are their personalities like. Now, you might challenge this and say, oh, there's no way that this can be reliable or realistic and it's incredibly shallow. But I would challenge you and say that what we communicate from the way we show ourselves, the way that we dress, the way that we hold ourselves, and the choices we make about the photos we use says a huge amount about who we are. Now, another way to get some useful self-reflective feedback is on your own physique. Now, I will spare you half-naked images of myself, so you can simply upload a photo of your physique and ask ChatGPT to describe it. Now, I have been on a health and fitness regime for the last 6 months and keeping track of my progress. And what's incredibly interesting is you get a description of how your physique is looking. I think the whole idea of body dysmorphia is a spectrum that I think it's incredibly difficult to look at our own bodies objectively. And we have a distorted lens, no matter how strong that distorted lens is, from actually seeing our bodies in a true way. And this happens not just with our bodies, but with so much in our lives, that the closer we are to something, the harder it is to see it for the very first time, or to see it from a non-biased, from a non-filtered perspective. One of my favorite insights about being a creative or an artist is the ability to be able to see anything with eyes for the first time. So one thing that I often do with any creative work is I take a break from it, don't look at it for 2 days, come back and try to imagine I've never seen this before. And this is where I get much clearer insights, much better clarity on how I can use this to improve. And you can do that with your own physique. So another couple of tips is you can also ask it to estimate things, like estimate your body fat percentage. So I did this and I got an estimate for how much body fat I'm carrying. Now this can be great for tracking progress, but we can also get feedback on other movements. So I have these 3 frames going through me striking a football. And then I ask for direct feedback on exactly how well I am striking the ball and any tips for improving the technique. And it's interesting that it notes that my right arm flares up post-strike, which certainly actually is obvious. I think if we look at David Beckham, he has a much more balanced and elegant posture to his arm after he strikes the ball. But we can do this for anything, because we can also do it for us learning new acrobatic tricks, specifically for handstands. This is incredibly useful if we're trying out different yoga poses, or if we're looking at golf swings, tennis swings, or even our sprinting gait. There are many different situations where we can apply this analysis of our biomechanical form and get direct, usable feedback from ChatGPT. So I also asked it to create an image of perfect posture for striking a ball, which is useful to observe, to compare between my posture and the posture of the individual. Now, another way to get useful information is to look at our environments. So I uploaded an image of my studio background back from my apartment in Europe. And I asked it for, what does this say about me? And how does it match the brand I'm trying to convey with my YouTube channel? And then I asked it to redesign me a new studio that would be more closely aligned to my own branding aesthetic. And I came up with these couple of ideas. Now, ChatGPT's massively extended memory means that it now understands a huge amount more about us. And it can be very fun to ask it to visualize this in different ways. So I asked it to create an image of how it imagines my life to look. And this is very interesting to see this come up. But we can also ask it to create our lives as a poster. So I wanted to see how my life would be designed as a cinematic poster. And then I was like, okay, let's make it more epic, more inspiring. And then I continued to ask it to give me a costume and a prop. And finally, I asked it to mock up my life as a cinematic poster on an advert. And I find this to be very inspiring to myself, to see myself as this AI visionary with a lightsaber axe. And it brings a lot of hope and lightness to my heart, but also insight into how I want to see myself moving forward. But here is a very creative and fun experiment if you are also interested in exploring the possibilities of social dynamics, life, self-reflection, and multi-modality. So I asked ChatGPT to create an image of a woman who it thought would be romantically compatible with me based on everything it knows about me. And then it put together all of these ideas. It described her vibe and aesthetic, her appearance, her expression, her style, her habitat, what she does, and her approach. And then I asked it to make this into an image, and it came up with this as a potential romantic partner for me, which is so much fun. It's so interesting to see what AI suggests as a potential romantic partner. And then I asked it to do another one, to switch it up and to try a more playful individual, and it came up with a second idea. Now, you can also do this for other situations, not just for romantic partners. I asked it to do it for a mentor who would help me in my life. I want this to be a person who really supports me and I can visualize in my life. And it came up with this individual. This is my wise guru who is going to support me through the trials and tribulations of life. But you can try this out yourself and see what type of mentor ChatGPT imagines for you. Now, there are a lot of interesting ways that we can take any of these concepts and turn them into business models. Now, there are 3 ways we can take pretty much any idea that I've mentioned in this video and turn them into a way to make money. And the first is we can create a service related around any of these ideas. Now, this is simply getting very good at performing any of these use cases and offering that as a service to other people. For example, on Fiverr, you will find many people giving feedback on dating profiles. And this is a very lucrative industry, and it's something that really helps a lot of people, especially men, but also women. So you can simply set up a system where you are offering dating profile reviews, and you can offer this from anything from like $10 to $100 per time. And you're simply using a prompt on ChatGPT to automate this entire process. But we can really turn this into a productized service. So instead of simply having a profile on a service like Fiverr, is that what you do is you make a website, you automate the process much more effectively, where you have different packages available that people can immediately select, upload all of their photos, and then you can even set it up so that they automatically get taken, sent to ChatGPT, and the response is curated and sent back. Now you can obviously add in extra layers of personalization to this, where you may want to have a human reviewing this and adding any extra insights. But the whole idea is that you create a system or a workflow that gets people immediately through the process, rather than doing it all manually through a marketplace. Now, you can really do this for any of the ideas that we've talked about. If we just think about a couple, so for example, like the styling, like a complete fashion makeover approach, you can suggest 5 new outfits with a list of all of the items and where you could buy them from, and developed and designed and ready to send to potential customers. But also for sports coaching or calisthenics coaching. And this can be super useful if you are a fitness coach already and you want to provide much quicker feedback to individuals. For example, if you are a personal trainer and you want to really describe to people what is wrong with their form in particular exercises. And I mean, even a physique and assessment can be a great thing to offer as a service. But it's not just doing this, because what we can do is we can go even further. And instead of just offering a productized service, we can entirely automate the whole thing. So the whole idea here is we pick one of these use cases and we create a specific app that does this, and we completely focus on making the experience of doing this one use case absolutely seamless. Because the great thing about ChatGPT is you can use it for an infinite amount of situations. The bad thing about ChatGPT is that you can use it for an infinite amount of situations. And so it is not tailored to any specific use case. And if you completely narrow down the use case or the piece of value that you're looking to provide, you can make a much better experience for people. And there is a huge opportunity to do that right now for so many different things. And it's incredibly exciting. And a big part of doing that well is creating a brand that massively matches the idea that you have. Now, if you are interested into designing iconic, usable, relatable brands with AI, I've just released the AI Design Mastery course, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. I would love to see you inside the course. It's a lot of fun, and we go into a lot of detail about using AI to create iconic brands. But what do you think about these ideas? And are there any that I missed that you think are worth noting? I'd love to hear any other ideas or original, creative, fun ways that you have used ChatGPT's multi-modality. Now, of course, right now we are only able to use images, and the next steps are going to be where we're able to send videos with audio into ChatGPT, and I'm so excited for that, and I would imagine that we're going to get that capability later this year. We are living through the AI revolution, and you can either be replaced or you can take advantage of it and allow yourself to create, adapt, and thrive in this new environment. And if you are interested in seeing what we can make, how we can be creative, how we can have fun with this new technology, do feel free to subscribe and follow along. It would mean a lot to me as I'm trying to hit 200k subscribers. Remember, all the prompts from this video are available for free in the description below, and you can try them out yourself. Now, if you'd like to dive further down the AI rabbit hole, I recommend watching this video next, which is specifically looking at some of the use cases of advanced image generation inside of ChatGPT. But most of all, I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. It's your support that allows me to make these videos. And of course, I want to wish you a delightful day.